Hey there guys, welcome back. Wearing a different hat today, and of course now you know its real significance. We've only got 3 days left. That's today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and the 25th. Don't forget that short film. You guys are gonna want to see that. I keep talking about it, I know. These last questions for this lovely Sunday are gonna all be from family, actually. We're gonna go ahead and start with a question that came in from my mom. She asks, if you could go back in time and change one thing you did or did not do, what would it be? The only thing that I could say that I really regret is probably not getting more involved with Troop 4105, at least acting wise. I got pretty involved with them other ways, but I never really got to act alongside all of them on stage. Around October, when they were casting Runaways and getting ready to go on the district's competition trip, I was cast into a role that, knowing now, would have been a really good fit for me. I just can't help myself, but every time that I think about it, and every time that I saw them all on stage, performing, dancing, singing, kind of affected me a little bit inside, because I knew that it could have been me up there. Due to outside circumstances that were beyond my control, I had to drop out of that play. And I'm glad I did, because that opened up to me the entire other side of the acting world, the technical side. Moving on, this one comes in from my brother, and my bro asks on a Facebook post, if you could only choose one thing to define you, what would it be? This is tough because it feels like one of those writing prompts on an SAT or something. Choose one thing that defines you. And you better make sure that you pick one really good thing that you can write a lot about. Because if you pick maybe 2 or 3 and justify the fact that, well, these things all have equal importance to me, no, you didn't follow the prompt. Sorry, out of here, try again later. So, bro, I'm gonna follow the prompt. Only pick one. And unfortunately, it's gonna cause me to be a little sappy. If I'd have to pick one thing that defined me, and only one thing, it'd be friendship. In fact, I'm gonna take that and broaden it. That term even still is too specific for me. If I had to pick one thing that defined me, it'd be relationships. But I think that's honestly one thing that defines all of us. And that includes family and friends and everything else in between. It's like that silly and overused phrase that everybody knows about. If it wasn't for this, or if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be who I am today. But to be completely honest, there's a lot of truth in that statement. And honestly, why can't it be true? Or else, why would it exist? So yes, relationships, they define my acting. They define my reacting. I'm sure this sounds a lot more technical and personal, but really is a tough question to answer when you think about it. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our third question now. This one comes from Redemption the Series. This was asked in a YouTube comment. Redemption the Series asks, what made you decide to get into acting? Now, I understand that you asked this a long time ago, back before any of these videos were done, but if you were to take all of the days and lump them together into one, that's pretty much my answer. As you guys learned in the last video, acting was sort of thrust upon me. It was a bit accidental, I guess. So I never really decided to get into it. It was sort of decided for me. Now, the only reason why I kept with it was because I discovered I was actually good at it. I kept exposing myself to acting every single day, and I liked it so much for long enough that I started to love it. And now, I can't live without it. We're gonna hit our last question today, guys. This last question comes from my aunt, Sandra. She asks, how do you value the opinion of the elders? Well, it's not on an everyday basis that I like to converse with the Elven High Council. However, I'm just kidding, guys. I know what she means, but she did send me something that was a little more further clarification today. And she puts on here, this question is particularly relevant, in my opinion, because you are in a highly competitive field that goes beyond your outstanding talent. How do you handle criticism and value the wisdom of the experienced, even of those who are older than 50? I understand completely what you mean. There's a lot of industries out there, mine particularly, that are made up of a lot of, well, quite frankly, old people. People who have been doing this for a long, long time. Actors of ages long past who are now directors. The people who are auditioning these younger folks into getting into this field. And some of these actors who are old are still acting and are jumping around between all these different parts. That's how we as fans are building our celebrity roster. You see, there are a lot of actors who are literally just getting cast in very similar parts in a lot of films. Makes it really difficult to break into the industry when there's already a group of really talented individuals who have a lot of experience. And in the acting field, criticism is there every single step of the way. You either do or you do not have what it takes for that role. It doesn't matter how good you are saying those lines or how fantastic of a performance you've delivered in the past. If you don't fit that role that you're trying to go for, if the director or the person auditioning you doesn't believe you can pull off that specific character to what they need, you're out of there. As upsetting as it may be, it's the truth. Chances are you won't always get the part you want. This kind of reminds me of the vlog I did 2 days ago talking about being the best player. You're gonna lose, but you need to be able to pick yourself back up and try again. Everybody always talks about the acting profession as the young guy or girl fresh out of college who moves to Los Angeles or New York and is a waiter or waitress in some small diner hoping to serve some famous director or actor, and they're literally living off of tips and eating crackers in their small apartment, living from rent to rent. It's a stereotype most of the time. The acting industry is growing in a number of ways in different areas, a lot of major cities, Orlando, Miami being a few. If you're the kind of person that wants to move all the way out to New York or to California, more power to you. Just know what you're getting yourself into and make sure you've got a good plan to cushion yourself from moving so far away and putting yourself in such a position that can be very stressful. I do know friends who have done this and have been very successful at it, but that's not the road that I want to take. Yeah, I've got a very linear and thinly stretched vision of the future for myself. I'm pretty much just concerned with the next thing. For me, that's moving to Orlando, going to college, and getting a job as a character in Disney. Now, when you look at that as it is by itself, that really isn't doing a whole lot or going very many places. But I'm hoping that once I get there, I'll start to see the doors that are going to open up even further. And yes, along the way, I'm going to receive tons of criticism from a lot of people much older than I. But my hope and honest prayer is that that criticism is constructive. And a majority of the time in this field, it is. You'll find those lucky few who want to take the time to share with you their experience and their life advice. Not just acting, but how to live as an actor. Being on a stage almost every day of the week for rehearsals can put a lot of strain and tear away at your personal life. And it becomes a whole different ballgame if you've got a family to take care of too. But it can be done. And I know this only because I've spoken with people who've had experience doing so. Sir Isaac Newton said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." You learn from the experiences of those in the past. Guys, wake up! That's why we have parents. That's why we have elders. Every generation needs to get smarter and smarter by learning from the mistakes and the successes of those who came before them. So that way they hopefully don't repeat those mistakes of the past. Instead, make new mistakes, learn from that, and teach their kids. That's gonna do it today, guys. For questions, thank you for joining me again. We have 2 more days and then that short film. This has been an amazing experience, and I'm gonna be so sad when it's all over and I'm not making these mad dashes to edit videos in a night. Make sure to thumbs up if you like this video, comment, and subscribe. Today was the last day to submit questions. Everybody else, I will get to you guys tomorrow and Tuesday. Life is a play, and the play is the thing. See you tomorrow.
Ho, ho, ho. Stafeezy. I already stalk you.